My name is Camila. I am 20 years old. I never thought my life would become this way. When I was a little girl, I dreamed of a home full of laughter, warm hugs, and long talks. But my house was always silent. My parents worked all the time. Morning to night, they were busy. I would see them rushing out with tired faces and rushing back home with even more tired faces. They loved me, I knew that. But they never had time. I grew up in the middle of silence. At school, I smiled, I talked, I even laughed. I had hundreds of friends online. My phone was full of messages, group chats, likes, and comments. But when I felt sad, when I really needed someone, I had no one to call. Not even one. Loneliness became a shadow in my life. It stayed with me every day, even when people thought I was happy. As I grew older, I told myself I would be different. I would not live like my parents. I would make time for the people I loved. I would take care of myself. I promised this to the little girl inside me who waited every night for her parents to sit with her, but they never did. But life doesn't always follow promises. When I became a young woman, I found myself in the same cycle. School, work, cooking, cleaning. Running from one thing to another. Every morning started with rushing. Every night ended with exhaustion. I became my parents without even realizing it. I remember one day clearly. I was in my small kitchen, cooking rice while checking my school notes on the counter. The pot was boiling, and my phone kept buzzing with reminders of assignments due. My head was heavy, my body weak, but I told myself, just keep going. After cooking, I cleaned the dishes. After cleaning, I studied. After studying, I prepared my bag for work. Then I rushed to the bus stop. I was always rushing. My whole life became a race with time. People said, "Camila, you are strong. You manage so many things." But inside, I wanted to cry. I didn't feel strong. I felt empty. There were nights I sat on my bed, phone in my hand, scrolling through social media. Everyone seemed so happy, so free. I had hundreds of friends there. But when my chest felt heavy, when I wanted to hear a voice say, "I'm here for you," no one was there. My call list stayed silent. I started to understand my parents more. They had lived the same tired life. They were not cold, they were just consumed by time. I once blamed them for not being there. But now, I was living the same. I wanted to break the cycle. I wanted to scream, "Stop, world. I need a moment to breathe." But bills needed to be paid. Assignments needed to be done. Meals needed to be cooked. Clothes needed to be washed. There was always something waiting for me. Always. Sometimes I don't even realize when I fall asleep while working. One evening, I came home from work. My body felt heavier than usual. I placed my bag on the floor and went straight to the kitchen. I cooked a quick meal, washed the dishes, then opened my laptop for schoolwork. My eyes were burning. My hands were shaking. But I kept typing. The next thing I remember is waking up with my head on the keyboard. The screen still glowing. My notebook on the table, open. I didn't even know when I had fallen asleep. It was not a peaceful sleep. It was a sleep forced by exhaustion. My body had given up before my mind did. I sat there, staring at the clock. It was past midnight. Tears rolled down my face. I wasn't crying loudly. Just quiet tears, heavy tears. The kind that come when words are not enough. I thought about my childhood. How I waited for my parents, but they never came. How I promised myself I wouldn't live like that. And yet here I was, repeating it all. Time had stolen everything from me. My peace. My friendships. My energy. Even my smile. People say life is about working hard, about achieving dreams. But what if in the middle of all that, you lose yourself? What if you forget how to live? That night, I realized something painful. It wasn't only my parents who didn't have time. I also didn't have time. Not for them. Not for myself. Not for anyone. I became a stranger to my own life. Sometimes I still ask myself, is this how life will always be? Running. Rushing. Falling asleep while working. Waking up tired. And then repeating it all again. Maybe one day, I will find the courage to slow down. To breathe. To live. But until then, I keep going. Because time never waits. And I am still caught in its race. And the saddest part is, I don't even know when I lost myself in it. Friends, if you ever feel like your parents don't give you enough time, or don't pay attention to you, don't feel upset. Sometimes, they want to play with you, but they are too busy with work. They work so hard to give you a home, food, and everything you need. So, when you see your parents tired from working too much, instead of feeling angry, respect them and try to make them happy. Their hard work is what makes your life possible, and without it, you cannot even imagine your life. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thank you so much for listening to my story.